Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. So I hope you're having a good Sunday. I just came back from a swimming session and found out that Andrew Tate was reinstated on Twitter by Elon Musk, as was Donald Trump, and he's been in the media very frequently recently. So today I decided to react to a video which I've watched multiple times and let you know what I agree with, what I disagree with, and my general thoughts about Andrew Tate. So I hope you enjoy.
Back where you fucking started, Wagey.
So this video in particular is called Funniest Andrew Tate Moments, and it's a compilation, and this is the way it begins. It's a 12-minute video, and I'll be telling you my thoughts on each individual segment, which makes most sense to me.
Someone has to fucking flip the burgers, dumbass.
You're the virgin strong.
So one thing I really love about Andrew Tate is his confidence and, as he says himself, I guess his perspicacity, you know, the way that he never gives up. He's confident in what he says, even though sometimes he says stuff which many people don't agree with, things which are controversial, yet he's always confident, he's always sure of himself.
Why did you choose that insult? Why do you call people worms? And it's very, very clear to me, at least, why I call people worms. Worm is a pointless creature. The only reason a worm exists is so that bigger, more important animals can eat something. They don't.
Right, see, this is what I'm talking about. He's describing people as worms because worms are basically useless, and there are certain people in society which don't contribute anything, and calling them anything else wouldn't really be an insult, but to the animal you'd call them, so a worm would be the perfect insult. This is what he's about to say.
They don't do anything. They can't see.
Yeah, they're only there to
They
be
sit in
eaten
the
by
dirt
other
and they just
creatures.
move around in the dirt and they try and hide a little bit, and then a bird eats them.
Yeah,
And
that's
most people
basically
live their
their
lives
entire
as
life.
worms. Most of you
Yeah.
are worms. You don't do anything important. You're just living in your shit life.
Some people
living in your
don't
little
even
dirt,
try
just
to
sitting there wriggling,
build
hoping that evil doesn't
themselves
come
up,
along
you know?
to fuck you up.
Yeah, they
And
just
if evil
allow
did come
others to
along, you
fuck
couldn't
them
even
up.
defend yourself. A worm has no claws. It can't. Hasn't even got like a skunk can spray smelly piss or something. A worm has zero defensive mechanism. A worm is absolutely and utterly useless. I've never
Definitely,
heard
yeah.
of a story of valor that involves a worm. People use
This kind of reminds me of that Rick and Morty episode where there's Beth and Jerry, and Jerry, instead of being called a wimp, he is shown on screen as a worm, which is kind of the point Andrew Tate is making, though I doubt Andrew Tate is familiar with Rick and Morty.
animals as insults. They'll say you're a bitch, which is a female dog. I don't think a female dog's that insulting
Yeah,
to be. I know
dogs
female
are
dogs.
actually quite
You can have a female
loyal,
police
you know?
dog
Yeah.
that will charge
They're
at bullets.
actually useful
Or
to
you
the
can have a
people
fire dog that
who
run in a
take care
burning
of them.
building. What's wrong about being a female dog? A dog can do something. Being a female worm would be much worse.
Yeah, I don't
Are
think
even
they have.
female worms?
Yeah, I don't think they have
Are
genders.
worms so
I think
shit
they're
that they don't even have
ambidextrous,
genders?
personally.
I'm about to do research in the middle of a Tate speech for the first time in my life. Earthworms are hermaphrodites.
Oh,
This is what I
hermaphrodites.
mean.
Yeah, that's the word I was looking for. Ambidextrous is when you can use both arms equally. Hermaphrodites is when you don't have genders, or when you change gender depending on the need in the ecosystem.
Don't have genders. You're a worm. You're not even a man or a woman. You're just a worm. If I were to come and knock on your door and say, I've decided I have a sexual attraction to twos, so I'm taking your girlfriend, you could do very little about it.
That's
You're a worm.
quite an insult, calling
Ice in your
somebody's
face, it's
girlfriend a
freezing
toad, but you know,
cold.
it's Andrew Tate.
And then when we were practicing on the harness, when you pull the harness, you just get the biggest wedgie in history.
Yeah.
And then you float in the cold for like 10 minutes, shivering. What's fun about
Yeah, I
it?
don't think Andrew Tate is a
Cold.
fan of the cold, yeah.
I don't like cold. I don't jump. Like I wouldn't jump in a lake that's
I'd
minus 5.
forgotten about this.
Fuck, I would jump out of a plane that's minus 5. It's fucking cold. And then I looked around the skydiving room. So I always thought people who jumped out of planes were like badass. Like, I imagine
I
the
would
skydiving
too,
school
I
would be
guess.
full of, like, military types.
What is his take
or
on
dudes like
people
me,
who jump out of
like
planes?
supreme specimens of man.
Yeah, obviously.
But it was actually
Complimenting
full
himself
of fucking
around every corner.
geeks. I'm talking about 20 full-grown men sitting around a TV screen looking at videos of their last jump where they were doing patterns, discussing patterns. 20 full-grown men look at a TV screen. Hey man, bro, look, yeah, bro, when you held his hand, you need to do the inverse flip, and then all of them running and getting on skateboards. And pretending they're doing their pattern.
Yeah,
Geeks, bro.
I can
I was
see
like,
that.
what the fuck is
I mean,
this?
from somebody who fought in the ring for a long time, you know, Andrew Tate is a very popular kickboxer, so he knows what death looks like, he knows what blood is, obviously, but these guys, I mean, for him to describe them as geeks, it must have been very bad. Okay, this is a part of the video I really love. I don't really see Andrew Tate sing
No gas.
very
There's
often.
4 miles in the tank. There's no gas stations. You don't know about this song. You know all the words to this song.
Obviously him smoking the cigars, you know. I really agree with the fact that he hates people who vape because they're just a bunch of chemicals, flavored chemicals as he describes them, and you know, you just breathe them in, you look like an idiot when you use them. But you know, cigars, they're a different breed of cigarettes, I suppose. Not e-cigarettes, not regular cigarettes, they're cigars, they're for men basically, is what his take is on smoking. And he actually thinks they're healthy as well, which I'm not really sure about.
What do you mean? That's not... No one does.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I haven't heard of this song either.
Wonder Mike and Master G, they know the words, and I know the words. Hip it to the hip hop, you don't stop, rock to the bang bang, where we sing up, jump the boogie to the rhythm of the boogie to beat. Now what you hear is not a test, I'm rapping to the beat. And me, the crew, and my friends are gonna try to move your feet.
Yeah, he's also a guy who is very capable at multitasking, you know. He does a lot of things at the same time, and he does them with confidence. He's sure of himself with everything he does. And that's why many people seem to hate Andrew Tate, because they're not at his level, and they're either jealous, so they try to speak against him to make their point, and to try to, you know, get famous through insulting Tate, but in reality I don't think they ever will reach his level, because he's a determined guy. He'll do whatever he puts his mind to. Yeah, I can understand his disappointment, but at the same time nobody would really know the lyrics either. I'm not sure whether I've heard that song before. You know, I think these are his siblings.
This is stupid.
One of them is called Luke. I'm not sure about the other guy. I mean, I've watched a lot of Andrew Tate compilations, and yet I'm not sure about his brother.
Right? It's not just me, I'm not
Tristan, I believe. Tristan Tate. Yeah, his take on sushi as well, it's hilarious.
Something terrible's happened. I was at dinner. I sat at a table with a full-grown man
Yeah,
at dinner.
there we go.
Full-grown man. He looked normal, looked like a normal dude. And we're going through the menu. What do we want to eat? What do we want to eat? Steak, veal. Going through the menu. And he sits there, and he says, I think I'll try the sushi.
I mean, personally, this is one thing I don't really agree with, because having sushi, you know, eating raw fish, I feel as though there's more of a risk to eating it, and it's badass when you have sushi because you're eating raw fish, which could make you sick, and you know, you're taking a risk which not everybody is aware of, but even when you are aware of it, it's still a risk. So doing it anyway makes you badass, in my opinion, and Andrew Tate doesn't think so. He'd rather go for a steak, which is much safer and perhaps even healthier to eat, but it's not as risky to eat as sushi, as long as it's cooked well, I suppose.
You're a sushi eater.
There's no power in sushi.
Literally, what?
I mean, I just explained why I think there is
Look at this power.
there is
This
power in
comes from the
sushi, you
food
know?
I eat. You're telling me
I mean, I think he's salty because he probably doesn't know how to use chopsticks and he doesn't like the cold, so that's why sushi doesn't really appeal to him that much.
you're gonna get power from sushi? A little piece of floppy
It's
fish,
delicious, it's
some rice
tasty, you
in a
know, as
circle.
long as it makes you happy.
Raw fish.
Yeah.
What do you mean? He doesn't understand. It's not fried chicken, man.
Fuck is wrong with you?
Fried chicken is delicious
What,
too,
what
but
kind
you
of
know, having
full-grown
sushi
adult
once in a while
deliberately,
doesn't
not on accident,
ruin your
deliberately
appetite
eat
or your
sushi?
health.
I caught my brother ordering sushi to the house.
It's not a big deal anyway, it's even though it might be your house, but you know, it's not your choice, you live there
You are
together.
fucking the weakest food. Do you know who eats sushi? Little fucking soy boys. Little fucking Democrats. So actually, I'd like a sushi meal.
They do.
Can I go for sushi? Then I got the fried fucking chicken. What the fuck is wrong with people? There's no power in sushi.
Okay, you said that already, buddy.
I've known him for a long time. I've known him since school.
Just, you know,
And we're sitting there chilling.
putting your point across, I guess. Yeah.
He's like, yeah, it'd be nice one day. Anyway, I'm hungry. You want something to eat? I was like, no, I'm fine, bro. So he gets his ass up. Full grown man. He starts to cook himself something to eat.
Yeah, I mean, this is another thing I don't particularly agree with. I mean, it's not really healthy to always order takeout, you know? Or, I mean, if you're rich enough to have somebody to cook food for you, or to be privileged enough to have your parents cook food for you, I guess that's okay, that's fine. But if you're not making your own food, that's just a sign of independence, in my opinion, you know? Cooking a meal for yourself isn't a bad thing, it's something that's natural. You know, what are you going to do? Eat roast steak? You have to cook it somehow, you have to season it.
Time is what?
Yeah, time is money, but some people hone their skills with cooking. Take chefs, for instance. And people have to eat anyway, so you might as well, you know, cook rather than work 24/7.
Doing with your time is cooking. I can't think of a lower ROI activity.
I mean, what about watching TikToks or using social media without making money? Without being a content creator, you know, just being a supporter of various channels and social media platforms. You're not making any money, and you know, cooking is the main issue here. You know, there are so many activities which are worse to do for you, your health, your mental health, your physical health, than it is to cook. I don't think it's fair for him to be making fun of the people who do cook meals for themselves. I'm not sure what his point is. And once again, I don't see what the correlation between being broke and making your own food is. I mean, once again, as long as you have enough money to buy your own ingredients, make your own food, it's a sign of independence, right?
Watching Gordon Ramsay, obviously.
Yeah, and then he watches Gordon Ramsay, who's a chef, who's making money through cooking. It's quite ironic, isn't it? And
Thank you very much.
contradictory.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Yeah, this is actually cool. He's going to have a shower on a plane, I believe.
Right, people. My first ever shower
Yeah.
on a plane. This is my huge, spacious bathroom. I'm gonna have to try and do this video without getting my massive cock all over the camera. I know what you're thinking.
Once
You're
again,
thinking,
his
Tate's
confidence, you know,
rich,
Tate's
tall,
rich.
strong, smart.
Nobody could save up enough
Surely
money
he had a big dick
to
Yeah. Sorry to
have
break
a
it to
shower
you.
on a plane, you know?
If you were to see my dick,
It's
it would
just
hurt
not
you more than
something one
seeing
would be
my
able to
bank
do every
balance. You
week
guys would
without
be
having a
devastated.
massive bank balance.
I'm gonna try my best to not get my massive wang on camera for my airplane shower.
Yeah, I mean, you're not going to prove anything anyway.
I am gonna get naked because I'm not getting in my fucking clothes, am I? Right.
It's a good
Trying
thing
to
there are
avoid
the
mirrors.
subtitles here. They help a lot with my comments.
not dressed. So, this is the shower aboard Emirates First Class. This is a little shower. I don't even want a shower. I'm like, would you like a shower, sir? I'm going to be a pussy and say, I got a seat. I can
mean,
sit down and have a shower.
Doesn't make you a pussy to say yes to having a shower. Anybody could need a shower, could take a shower, you know? You could either need a bath, you could either need a shower, some way you need to wash, you know, you need to cleanse yourself. It's just hygienic at this point. It doesn't make you a pussy to refuse a shower.
Scared this water's going to come out cold because all the showers start cold.
I mean, as long as you're going to shower anywhere else anyway, once a week at least, you know. But saying no to showering on a plane isn't that big of a deal. It doesn't make you a pussy. You could shower anywhere else as long as you are keeping yourself clean and healthy.
Oh, I don't like that. So press on.
Yeah. He then realizes he needs to close the door before it will work, and he has a limited amount of time he can use the shower for. So yeah.
Right, I couldn't turn the shower on. It's not working. I just got dressed.
You know, his indefatigability. Yeah, I've been following Andrew Tate for a long time now, so I know a few words, you know. He attributes to his father a few words he likes to use, like brokey. And his thoughts on feminism, maybe I should make a video on that as well, because it's becoming ridiculous now. And the feminist point of view is ridiculous, not his points. His points are actually very solid, and they help to embrace masculinity.
And then I thought, I bet it's because I haven't closed the door, because I don't want to get cold. So they're going to force me to get cold. I'm using my ninja brain now. I bet it wouldn't turn on because the door wasn't closed.
Yeah.
So we close the door.
And then it starts to work, huh?
Door closed. Nah, I should have fucking known.
I mean, it is your first time having a shower on an Emirates plane, right? So...
Shit, don't have any soap.
Yeah, he needs to go back out for the soap. Okay.
Turn the shower on. That's cool.
It's your first time. It's normal to not know these things if nobody showed you the way before. So as long as you're doing it all by yourself, it's understandable. Oh, it's raining.
It's a little bit cramped, I won't lie. But we are on a fucking plane.
Yeah, you are on a plane, so what did you expect a whole suite to shower? It's a regular shower, it's not that... What sort of shower does he expect? It's not that tiny, maybe because he's tall, I guess. His height interferes with the size of the room.
The main difference between having a shower and on a plane or on the ground is that when you have a shower on a plane, you're in the air.
Yeah.
Think about it.
It's like you're flying while having a shower. Yeah.
I'm flying right now.
Yeah.
Whereas if I was having a shower on the ground, I wouldn't be flying. Think about that.
I mean, technically the Earth is in the space and it's a floating rock, so
right,
either way you would be, I guess, flying, technically speaking. Floating rock in space. Not that much of a difference. I really love the way his bald head looks, actually. It soothes my mind to look at.
The seat works.
Yeah, he sat down and he thinks the seat works. I mean, isn't that what it's there for?
It's right on the edge of burning my skin forever and feeling okay.
Yeah, it's what you like,
my
isn't
iron
it?
fucking yoga flame power to endure.
To endure the pain. I mean, you could try to make it slightly colder so as not to harm your skin, I suppose. Or just use your yoga, your meditation. What do you expect? It's a closed room. Top G, yeah.
Top G. Let them know.
Okay, so I do look forward to making more videos about Andrew Tate. Let me know in the comments whether you enjoyed this sort of content, whether it's too long a video, whether you'd like me to speak about more controversial characters in society and react to compilations like this. And I think I have a few more videos lined up coming up this week. Hopefully I'll try to make them a bit shorter than this, because I need to start uploading to the shorts as well to get more views. We're on the brink of hitting 50k views and 200 subscribers, so I hope you can help me out with that. Basically, my main thoughts on Andrew Tate is that he's not a bad person. It's just that social media tends to show the bad things he says and the bad things he does, but they never really show the good things he's participated in, what he's actually been through, but that could be said of social media and sensationalism in either case. So yeah, I think many people did try to cancel Andrew Tate. It's not something I would have done, because I respect the guy. I mean, he has values which I agree with and I'd like to hone. So that's it from me, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.